Thank you very much for agreeing upon this.
Of course.
And I think my friends from Nepal, they will love love this episode. Introducing you, I don't know, you are one of my favorite professor.
That's very kind of you.
I would tell you why.
Okay.
So in Nepal, let's start this with my story.
Okay.
So in Nepal, especially in my high school, so until 10th grade, we don't have any calculus in our curriculum. And in 11th and 12th grade, the calculus suddenly comes in, and it was like pulling me down. And then, so I was doing great with every other thing, like vectors, coordinate geometry, linear algebra, and all those things. And I could literally not understand calculus at all. Like, how are those graphs related, and how we integrate, how we find the derivative. Oh wow, those 2 years, it was I can't believe I was I was always scared out of it, and I would always run away from calculus. And though I did though I did well in other parts, there used to be few questions from calculus, and then my math grade always would be down, and then that kind of brought my confidence down. And I was in my high school, I was not very satisfied as a student. And I came to United States. Dr. Rosov taught me first calculus class, and we started from the beginning. And those visualization, those every activities,
Yeah.
and I came to 175, and you started teaching us. Oh wow, calculus made a lot more sense to me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and actually, it has been one of the most interesting and easy topic for me now.
That's great
And
to
then
hear.
you taught and helped us visualize those topics really well, and that is awesome. Also, CS topics you help us visualize
Yeah, I love
awesome
calculus.
way. So thank you for that as well.
Of course. I'm so glad that
Yeah.
somebody got it. Yay.
Right. Yeah. So, okay, that is about my student life, but
Okay.
let's get to your student life.
I didn't have calculus till 12th grade.
12th grade?
12th grade I had
Okay.
calculus, so a little slower here even.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I loved it. So it was a long time ago, and I think it was brand new, AP Calculus. So Advanced
then.
Placement Calculus in the United States, it's called.
Okay.
And I think that it was relatively new when I took it.
Okay.
I wasn't familiar with advanced placement classes.
What year was this, Professor?
A long time ago.
I know you have been teaching here.
1984 is, I think, when I took AP. Way before you were born, right?
Right.
When were you born?
2001.
Yep.
I don't. That is funny.
Yeah.
I don't know when they started talking about calculus. It should not have been very long years since then, when you first learned calculus.
Yeah, I learned it then.
Maybe a few decades by then. Yesterday I was reading an article about you, and
Not me.
yeah. I looked a little bit about you.
Ah.
No, this article, I just revisited that. This article I read way back then, I don't know, maybe a few months back.
Mhm.
You came to, this was your freshman year. You came to College of Idaho,
1985.
85.
Mhm.
You wanted to do pre-med.
Yeah.
And
I
in
wanted to
your
be a
sophomore year.
veterinarian. Mhm.
Oh, yeah. And in your sophomore year, your advisor said, "You love math, kid." Do you remember that?
Mhm.
How do you remember those days, Professor? Roger. How
Roger
do you remember
Hickdom.
him?
I loved Roger Hickdom. So when I came to the College of Idaho, I was a biology major, but they assigned
Okay.
me a math advisor.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Roger Hickdom was my advisor, and he knew I wanted to be a biology major. And I had taken AP Calculus in high school, but I didn't take the exam. I didn't have a confidence that I would
Okay.
do well in it. So he had me take calculus again in
Okay.
college, and it was pretty easy for me, which was good. It was nice to have an
was
easy
easy, okay.
class. So I took it and it was easy, and then I took the biology and chemistry. And when it came time to register for the next, so I guess it would have been multivariable calculus. Well, no, back then it was Calc 2. So we did Calc 1 and Calc 2. It was a little different curriculum.
Okay.
He said, "Oh, just keep taking it. It was easy for you, right? Yeah, you need another easy class." So I took it again and took biology and chemistry, everything else. And then when it came time for a sophomore year, he said, "Well, you don't have to take multivariable calculus, but it'd probably be pretty easy for you, so you should keep taking it." And then I took that in biology and chemistry, and he also encouraged me to take a computer programming class, which I didn't own a computer. Like, we didn't have laptops. We only had desktops back then. They were big.
Right.
I didn't own one, so not everyone had a computer. I had never even seen one, really. I had a typewriter, an old-fashioned electric typewriter. So I listened to him, and I took the computer science class, and I took multivariable calculus. I didn't love multivariable calculus. It was okay. It's like my least favorite math class ever.
Least favorite? Multivariable calculus, okay.
Yes. But the computer science class, I loved it. Loved it. Yeah, we learned a programming language called Pascal.
Okay.
And I still remember the very first time, like, we didn't all have laptops. We didn't all have computers. We had to find we had a computer lab, and it was in Boone. We had to go into the computer lab and go walk down and turn on a computer. And so Professor Appleby asked me, "Well, why don't you just turn that one on?" And I just looked at him. I don't know how to turn it on. Yeah,
that was
it was
the big
really
computer.
That long ago. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I'm so glad I took that class, and I continued to take the math. And it was Roger Higdon that eventually said, "What do you like about biology?" I said, "Well, I don't really like it."
You don't know.
Yeah, it was just memorization for me. Like, I didn't really interest me, but the math and the computer science were really interesting. And he said, "You can get a biology minor and just keep taking this stuff," and I did. So I switched.
You switched.
Yeah, switched my junior year.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, sometimes,
Follow your passion.
Follow your passion, right?
I really liked it. Yeah.
So was that the point when you discovered your passion? Like, you wanted to
I discovered that it was okay
Okay.
to like math. I had always liked it, but it was very unpopular. Nobody liked math. Nobody likes math, right?
It is,
super unpopular.
I guess,
So I kind of had to hide it.
I don't know, Professor. Nobody likes math. No, there are many people liking math.
Now it's a little better now. It's okay to be.
Back then it was not great.
No, not great.
Okay,
yeah,
Not many people would want to think about math and think.
You were just a geek, and that was back then. It was kind of bad,
Oh, okay.
to be too. I don't know. I felt like it.
Interesting.
This is from small town Idaho, so who knows? But yeah.
Right. And it is way.
It's better to be a medical doctor. I mean, what can you do with math? But be a teacher.
Oh, was it like that before? So, okay, if you were a medical doctor, then you make money because there are a lot of jobs. But with math, it was not very clear what you would...
You just be a teacher. And I thought it was the only profession, yeah. And I did become a teacher, I guess. But it's fun.
It is. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm like, it is kind of rare, Professor. Like, you have been teaching here for more than I'm born again. Back then, did you ever ask, what is the purpose of my life? Like, you said you found your passion, what you wanted to do, kind of math thing when you were in sophomore year. Kind of heavy question.
When I was graduating, a senior, so my senior year, Ralph Appleby, Dr. Appleby, who I took the computer science class from, he had a job for me in Boise, programming, so I could have become a software engineer, whichever. I didn't know what that was back then.
Really?
Yeah, so he had a job for me. But my advisor, Roger Higdon, kind of encouraged me to think about graduate school.
Okay.
So he had me apply to Oregon State University. I only applied to one graduate school.
Okay.
And I ended up going. I got in, and I got, back then it was a teaching assistantship.
Okay.
So I had no tuition. I have no debt from graduate school. They paid me.
Okay.
I got to practice teaching for the 6 years I was there. But it was actually that my senior year when he had me do that, and I started to think, he said, you could be a college professor.
Oh,
and
okay.
I started to dream about that. Like that was the like amazing. I could do what he did.
So you looked at you wanted to go to Oregon State University for your master's and PhD. You were doing TA.
Yeah.
And that is when you found out you could like help people learn math and computer science.
Yeah, I remember my very first class. So back when they have you first practice teaching, I didn't have my own class. I had recitations, they call it. So I was a TA for a class that had about 150 calculus students, Calc 1. So there's a professor at the front of the room 3 days a week, and then 1 day a week they break into small groups of about 30 to 40, depends, 20 to 40, it depends on the
20
room.
to 40 students.
Yeah, so they break into small groups, and then I can't remember, 3 or 4 of these in a day, 1 day a week. And I would basically answer questions, help them with their homework. I didn't have to teach them anything new, but they quickly learned that there really wasn't benefit to going to class 3 days a week. They just come 1 day a week. So I ended up having to kind of quickly teach them everything. Yeah, because a class of 150 versus this, this smaller class.
Yeah, definitely. Because like one person going with
in
150,
a big lecture hall.
Yeah, definitely.
Very different.
That 1 day was very helpful than 3 days.
I was sick to my stomach the first day walking there. I was so nervous to go in and teach. I remember being anxious. I had high anxiety. I'm not a public speaker. I don't like to just speak. But I learned right away that I wasn't public speaking. I was just answering math questions, and I could do that. So I have to think of teaching as just answering math questions, and I can do it.
Oh, this is surprising.
Yeah.
This is very surprising for us.
Yeah.
I feel like you're kind of public speaker and extrovert kind of. Do you call yourself extrovert or introvert?
Introvert.
You're an introvert?
My husband is an extrovert. I'm an introvert. Yeah.
Ooh,
yes.
okay.
Yes. It takes a lot of energy for me.
Right.
Yeah, to teach and to be in front of people.
So,
and I'm exhausted, so I go home and I go to bed at 8 o'clock or 8:30. I'm so tired. Yeah, it takes all of my energy. It's hard for me.
So
it's fun.
This is questioning my thought. Okay, so whenever I look at you, it's very kind of you, Professor. Whenever I look at you, I can literally call you the heart of Boone, and you're smiling to everyone. You all whenever you see me with my friends, you always smile, and then you're always polite, welcoming, always answer our question really nicely. That kind of makes me feel like you are an extrovert. It's not bad to be an introvert. I'm personally, I call myself an introvert,
really?
Though I'm not. No,
See? I think you're an extrovert too. So
really?
Maybe we're the same. Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe we're more similar.
Professor, this is getting interesting. Okay. Wow. Well, I was gonna ask this question, Professor.
Yes.
You're always smiling, and then you're always helping people. What is the source of that energy? I was gonna ask that.
Gosh.
And maybe that will help me because sometimes I'm like trying to be nice to everyone and smile and then like answer people's question, and I'm kind of exhausted. I feel tired, and maybe I would just want to go back and then like kind of sort myself down.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like that?
Get tired?
Right.
Yes, tired, and then there'll be moments where I surprise myself. I'm tired and I'm angry, right?
Really?
And I'll take it out on the people that I shouldn't, like family. Or it's like, no, yeah. So I have to be careful.
But I still think you manage it really, really well. Because, well, my friends who are watching from Nepal, what I have learned I've learned different things from different professors, but one of the special thing I've learned from Dr. Lynda, my professor, is be kind to people and always smile and then look at them like nicely, be welcoming, be humble. So last coding night, we had it last Tuesday.
Yeah.
And
how many students?
About 10.
That's great.
That is great. But like I think I was too excited, and then I put too many things in for a day. I guess I was doing. I was trying to introduce them in Stack, and then trying to take it all the way up to BFS and DFS, which that was a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that class kind of made me realize that understanding by myself is one thing, and making someone think through that route is a different thing.
That's true.
And I think that is also what happened back in Nepal with me. My professor, I mean, I had altogether 4 math professors, and 2 of them were teaching calculus part. They were like super talented professor, but somehow they failed to kind of like make me think through the route of calculus. So it's like, what do you think is the role player here?
Well, when I'm teaching or I'm preparing to teach a new concept or idea, I try to slow it way down and think about. If I've taught it before, it's nice. I kind of know where students are going to either cut corners or have difficulty, right?
Right.
So often students say, "Yeah, I get it," and then you like, do you really have it from here to here? And then you stop and slow down. And so I try to scaffold it through that lens, either remembering how students do it or remembering how I learned it, trying to be empathetic to students' learning.
Okay.
That's what I try. And I've had the fortune of having 2 of my own children and watching them, helping them from kindergarten through high school, into college, into graduate school also, since I've been here. And so, fortunately, all that while, my son especially, my older child, had asked me questions.
Okay.
Not until he was in high school. So when he hit calculus, he didn't think I was of much value. He thought he was really, really smart and knew everything. And then and that I was not very smart until he was a senior in high school and he took AP Calculus. And I grade AP Calculus. So I know the curriculum, and so I get to go to Kansas City and grade those exams.
Okay.
And so in high school, he had a friend over, and his friend asked me a calculus question, and I helped him solve it. And the friend was like, "Bae, your mom can do calculus." So then I had a group of 5 or 6 students.
Was he surprised too?
He was very, because all of his life when he asked me a question, I wouldn't tell him the answer. He'd get so mad. Just tell me the answer. I said, "No, I'm not going to just tell you the answer. Let's work through it."
All right.
He just wanted the answer. But then in high school he said, "Okay, let's work through it. Tell me, help me learn this." Okay,
one of my good friend had this quote written down. I think it was in one of our caption saying, so she had basically said, "I hope to make most out of my life, and I hope life makes most out of me as well."
Wow.
It was a little bit kind of paradoxical, but that kind of made me think a lot. And how I concluded it is, or kind of like taken it, is, we cannot control a lot about our life, Professor Ryan. We can do best from our part, but I feel like life is doing something with us as well. So life is kind of taking us to different places. I had never imagined I would be coming to United States and studying here. I would meet you. I'm not sure how many great people I will meet more in my life. And it's very very interesting part of the life. Of course, I'll go back to Nepal and I will be like kind of doing, I don't know, I'm excited, but I'm not yet figured out what I will be doing. Do you want me to do anything after I return back to Nepal? What do you want me to do for Nepal? Big question.
Gosh,
but I don't know.
No. Where are you from in Nepal?
From this small village called Okten in hilly region of Nepal.
In the hill region?
Yeah, in the hilly region. It's Eastern hilly region. It's beautiful. not very developed, but not very used also. So a lot of things to be utilized there.
I mean, you could contribute a lot. Just depends on what you want to do, what
Right.
you enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think you want to do?
Okay, I was in this village for like, I don't know, maybe for 7 years of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came to a town nearby, and then my mentor, who is my mentor currently, I call him mentor, but he's basically my friend, my parent, and everything. He lives in Denver.
Oh,
He's a software engineer,
Oh,
and he
okay.
was a short-term teacher, like short-term meaning temporary teacher in my school back in 2016, and that is he made me fall in love with computer science.
Is he from Nepal or is he from?
He's from United States.
Oh, from he was just visiting.
So he was just visiting teacher there. And
Wow.
and he taught me website development, and he taught me like the dynamic website development later when I came to like Kathmandu, and I like built an app and started a company with that app, and I kind of like so had he not been in my life back then in 2016 when I was in my village,
Mm-hmm.
then I would not have got this, like started this route. So I kind of at least want to be that person to
Somebody
future
else?
children, like
Yeah.
future kids from my village, or I don't know, maybe in other villages, and I love traveling, so I have a few countries that I want to go in Africa. Madagascar, I love that country, and I have intention to live about half or 1 year there. So, so my ideal like imagination would be I would find someone like Matzer found me somewhere in the world, and it would be a great thing for me. But I do not know yet what I want to do for my country. Just wanted to ask if you would like kind of suggest me something or something like that.
Gosh, I would need to know more about Nepal, but
Right.
what they're lacking or what they need in terms
Right,
of computer science. And I think looking into the future, we need help with cancer. We had a student who went into bioinformatics from the college here, and he worked for Dana-Farber and did computer modeling. So he used his computer science to help with cancer research at Dana-Farber. So I think that's we need help
So
with that.
He used computer science to kind of model the.
I don't know. Yeah, it was well beyond me. Yeah, but they needed, and he had no biology. So at the College of Idaho, he didn't have biology, but he went into a bioinformatics PhD program at the University of Utah, I believe, and then went on and worked in cancer research at Dana-Farber and out east. And now he's not doing that any longer. He's somewhere else in New Jersey, but. I thought, wow, that is amazing.
Wow.
I just was so impressed with what he was giving back. And then,
so.
but there's environmental issues. I always think we're going to need electric vehicles, so we need people that are innovating battery technology and solar technology and just even more efficient. We need to feed the world. So there's all kinds of development.
To feed the world?
To feed the world, we need more, I think we just need more efficient farming and all those sorts of things. I mean, just always thinking about
like how
the next 100 years. What are we going to need?
So
we need your generation to take better care of our planet. Me also taking care of all the inhabitants here. Yeah.
Right. Think about the future and think about the people.
Yeah.
I think rather than just what I kind of feel from you is rather than just thinking for definitely think about your country and your people. Also, this is the age where I can impact globally also. I saw this it was when I was trying to request you for the podcast. I saw this very, very awesome photo of your family in your computer. Do you want to talk a little bit about your family?
My family. I love my family. My husband went to the College of Idaho, so
Oh,
we
he also
met.
was here?
We met on the bus up to
In bus?
the bus to the freshman orientation.
Oh.
He was a transfer student, so he was
Okay.
older than me, and he let me know he was older than me and more sophisticated. And I was not impressed with him. He thought he was pretty funny. I wasn't very impressed with him. So you never know who you're going to marry. Isn't that funny?
You were not impressed? What happened then?
Well, he also wanted, he was in my biology class, I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
So there were a group of us that, a mutual friend of ours said we should study together. So there were 3 of us that would study together. And so my husband and another friend of ours, Tim, and me, we would always for biology and chemistry. And I got to know him, just by being in classes with him. And,
wow. So
he was pretty funny. He is funny. He's very extroverted. Yeah. So he talks to everybody. And
okay. So
I'm not. So
Later you thought he was funny.
Yeah.
But initially.
Yeah. At first, no, I wasn't impressed.
Why were not? Okay.
I don't know. Why?
Okay, that is kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
I think now I finally agree to the point. Isn't that funny? Yes, it is funny.
So he went to the College of Idaho, and we were actually married our senior year of college. Believe it or not.
Was that?
Yeah.
That was too quick.
We were young.
You were young.
I was 21 and he was 22.
But it was also 19.
It was long, yeah. In the
it was
80s.
long ago.
It was different.
My mom got married when she was 18. So.
Wow.
It was.
Yeah, my mom was 17, I think. So we felt old. Yeah.
And
then I went to grad school, and he came with me. He was supportive. He worked. He worked, and he makes a lot more money than I do. He supports me to be a teacher.
How do you feel about that?
It's good. Yeah,
it's great for you, though.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's good.
Wow.
It's good.
What does he do?
And I did this knowing that we have a great program in education in the United States. At least the college participates. My children got to exchange tuition.
Oh.
There are about 600 schools that participate together, and so I started knowing that if we did ever have kids, that they could go to the College of Idaho, or they could go, they could apply all
the 600
over.
schools.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
So that's a great benefit. So even if, So they did that. Both my kids. So I have 2 children.
Where did they go?
They both ended up at Willamette University, which is a similar college,
Okay.
in Salem, Oregon.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And they didn't want to come here because they both studied mathematics and computer science. My son's a math major. My daughter's a double major, mathematics and computer science.
Wow.
And I don't blame him. I was heartbroken when my son didn't come here.
You were heartbroken?
Yeah, I really wanted to come to College of Idaho.
Oh, yeah.
But now, looking back,
it's all right.
He went his own,
Everything will make sense looking back. But sometimes
education.
Looking forward may not make sense, but looking back always makes sense.
It does. Yeah,
Wow.
and he did what was right for him, and he met his future wife there, so they're engaged. So he's going to get married in a year, but they met at Willamette. It was just sweet. It was awesome. So,
wow, looks like the family is flowering.
Yeah,
blooming.
I'm excited.
Wow, that is awesome.
Daughter. So I have a son and a daughter. Yeah.
Wow, it feels very special that I saw you in my dream, kind of hosting a podcast, and then I came asking you about that, and you said yes. You're always humble and always very nice to all of us, and that is very special about you. Personally, I've learned that, not only learned, but kind of tried to imitate it in my life and try to be kind to people.
That's very flattering, very kind.
Yeah, and so my friends in Nepal, I wish I could do this podcast in Nepali language, but my professor is American, so we can't do that. But many of you understand Nepali, understand English and understand Nepali, so
Thank you.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. I loved talking with my professor definitely. But I get to talk to her every day. But you guys, I think this is the only video you guys can watch my professor.
Maybe someday I can come to Nepal.
Oh yeah.
I would love that.
Oh, you will be loved. You will be
I would
welcomed,
love
and
to.
you will be one of the special person in Nepal for us. Do we want to say something in Nepali together to the people?
Is there anything that I can say?
We could say like see you again or things like that.
How do you say see you again?
We say फेरि भेटौँला
Ferry
भेटौँला. Let's say that.
Betola.
Ferry भेटौँला, guys.
Ferry Betola.
We'll see you again. And
Au revoir, à bientôt.
Yeah. Oh, what is that?
French.
Oh, French. You know French?
Oh.
A little bit.
Un peu.
Okay.